What's up guys, I'm going to do another Xbox One Project Scorpio video, and in this video we're going to be talking about a bunch of news about this. This is super exciting. So we have information about some of these specs about the Scorpio, we have information about when it might be released, and about some games that are going to be showcased for it, and just so much information about it. So be sure you guys stick around for the full thing, because everything in this is so exciting and so interesting. So let's get started. So the first bit of information we have about this is that dev kits have been sent out to developers. So like the actual Xbox One Scorpio, the hardware and stuff has been sent out, so devs can start, prepping games and stuff for it, running it on the Scorpio, optimizing it and everything. And something about these dev kits that was just kind of a little interesting is that they have an LCD screen on them that shows devs real-time data, so just a whole lot of information and everything about it, so it helps out devs. But I thought that was really cool, and that dev kits have this on there, but we have a whole lot more interesting information about it. The first one is that a major outlet visited Microsoft this week and took a look at Scorpio and its specs, and Microsoft used Forza Motorsport 7 as a showcase. So they showed it off running at 4K, and just about Microsoft gearing up for the Scorpio Reveal and using Forza Motorsport 7 just to show off how powerful and how good this console will make games look. And just having Forza Motorsport 7, like a brand new game running at like native 4K as being like a showcase for it, is really impressive, and I'm really excited for that. So for the actual specs of the Scorpio, it has been stated time and time again that it will have 6 teraflops of computing power, and it'll be significantly faster than the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, or even the PlayStation 4 Pro. Like the PS4 Pro only has 4.2 teraflops of power, so it's 1.8 more teraflops. So it should be able to reach native 4K on a lot of games. You won't have to do like much upscaling, if at all, and it'll just make games look really good, and will be really good for it. So it ditches the ESRAM. We learned about this before. I already covered that in a separate video that you guys can check out on screen, but it'll have 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory versus the original Xbox One's 8 gig of DDR3 and 32 megabytes of ESRAM. Project Scorpio, quote, will sport an incredibly compact design, so it's not going to be like this huge bulky console. It's most likely going to be about the same size as the original Xbox One. It will have an internal power supply. We already covered that in a separate video. And it's also most likely going to have a hard drive, not an SSD in it. And next up, from Jez at Windows Central, has been saying that the Scorpio, a bunch of news and stuff about it, reveals and just a whole lot of new news and everything will be coming out this week. And he mentioned specifically on like Thursday. So he said, quote, let's see what happens Thursday, not from me, but there will be Scorpio info next week. And so somebody tweeted this at Shinobi602. And he tweeted at him saying, heard something about Scorpio being shown next week, can you please confirm? And Shinobi responded, Scorpion things next week, yes, hardware seems impressive. And Shinobi is a really reliable insider in the industry, and just is like really spot on with his leaks and everything. So if he knows that something's going down, then it's like 99% gonna happen. So he knows that there's gonna be something happening this week with the Scorpio, and he says that the hardware sounds really impressive. So that's really exciting that he says it's gonna happen this week. A lot of other people say it's happening this week. Guys from Windows Central are saying it's happening this week. So we're gonna have to wait for later this week when we're gonna be getting more information about it. But we're still not done yet. So since the Scorpio dev kits have been sent out to developers and stuff, there's already been a lot of benchmarks and everything coming out from developers about how powerful this system is, and just seeing if it will be able to hit native 4K in games and everything. And so Project Scorpio dev kits are apparently operating at below 80% of their planned system performance. So like when it launches, it will be 20% more powerful than what it is right now. So we're not getting like quite the pure 100% performance that we're going to be getting on launch from the system. But so Microsoft has put out kind of like a roadmap of it, saying that when optimizations for the system will hit, Scorpio optimizations will help the console hit between 80% and 90% of its target output thanks to May's XDK update. And they also said that the most significant update for it will be June's XDK update. So in May we'll be getting around 90%, and then June is when we'll be getting like pretty much the full thing. So June is when developers will be like seeing the full like retail system, and what the dev kits they have are going to be what is going to be like the final system. So that's when they can like finalize all their systems and everything, and that's in June is when they're going to be getting like the full 6 teraflops and just the full power of the system. So right now a lot of devs are saying that the Scorpio is super powerful as it is right now, but as we've been told that it's only operating at like below 80%, so we're still going to be, getting a whole lot more power out of this thing. And speaking of which, the roadmap talks about how Project Scorpio will deal with games that utilize dynamic resolution scaling. So games like Battlefield 1, Halo 5, Black Ops 3, all these like newer games that came out recently, they all have a dynamic resolution scaling that drops their resolution from like 1080p down to like 900p and just kind of goes in between. And so with the Scorpio, we didn't know what was going to happen with these, if it was just going to make every game run at a native 4K, if it was just going to, like use this extra power and just scale everything up, or if devs can choose how they do it. But it seems that at the moment, any game that is not updated or anything will be running at the exact same resolution it was coded in. So like a game that came out originally on the Xbox One, say Battlefield 4, that ran at like 720p on the Xbox One, will still run at 720p on the Scorpio, just because the devs probably, DICE won't probably put out an update for it, increasing the resolution. But with its increased power, it will have, a lot more power for frame rate. So the frame rate will essentially be a locked 60 frames per second in every situation. So we won't be getting any performance dips at all. It's similar to the PlayStation 4's boost mode, where like older games will be able to take advantage of this hardware. And even if like older games that don't have updates or anything for these, will be still getting better hardware and more powerful hardware to work with, so that way games will most likely, they will have like no frame rate drops. Because if you're going from like a relatively powerful console like the Xbox One to something like super incredible like the Scorpio with 6 teraflops of power, and like with all this, with like 12 gig of GDDR5 RAM and everything, pretty much any game that targets 60 frames per second will be a locked 60 FPS the whole time. But games like Battlefield 1 and Halo 5 and Black Ops 3 and everything will be able to achieve their 1080p resolutions more frequently, if not permanently, on the Scorpio. So, I mean, they may not be in 4K, but they'll be pretty much a locked 1080p. So everything will look better on the Xbox One regardless. And so they also talked about intelligent delivery capabilities and everything, and they talked about Middle Earth Shadow of War. And I'll link this article down in the description from Windows Central. It's a really good read if you're like interested in any of this. I would definitely recommend checking that out. But they talk about a lot of the assets and everything, 4K assets, and just a lot of this code and everything for when the Scorpio actually releases. And so devs can like change things from when the original version comes out, like Shadow of War comes out in August and will be coming out just on the Xbox One, but then like later this year in holiday 2017 is when the Scorpio will come out. So it just kind of details how devs and stuff can put out updates and stuff for the Scorpio and have assets and 4K everything, just baked into the code and everything ready to go for the Scorpio. But yeah, that's pretty much it though, guys. We have so much information about this, like I honestly couldn't cover it all in a single video. So if you guys are interested in any of this, I'll link all of this down in the description, all these articles and everything. So if you guys want to read up more about a specific thing, you can check out any of these articles on like NeoGAF or on Windows Central, or just any of these places. I'll have it all linked down in the description. But I'm pretty pumped for it. We're going to be getting information sometime this week. It's been said probably around Thursday. So Thursday is when we're probably going to be getting, my guess is like an announcement on when we're going to be getting the reveal. I don't think we're going to be getting like the official reveal this Thursday, because there's been like no press invites or anything sent out to people. And if there was, we'd be getting so many leaks and stuff from people saying like, oh my gosh, I got an invite to the Scorpio reveal and this is when it's going to be, this is the time, this is the date and everything. We're going to be getting so many leaks about this, but so far nobody has like received any invites or anything for it. So my guess is that they're just going to like post a bunch of things on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter and everything, just saying like, this is when we're going to reveal the Scorpio, this is when our press conference is going to be, invites are being sent out now, and just kind of a little bit more information about it. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect like a full reveal or anything now, but I would expect, a time when we will see the full reveal. So there you guys go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.